Hello, body, mind, and soul community. It's Michelle Beauchard, natural entrepreneur here, one of your three co-hosts in the Body, Mind, and Soul Connections Network. It's so exciting to see you guys. I am delighted to be here this morning with an amazing featured provider. You might have seen her on the last Connection Circle, which, by the way, if you have not been on recently or you would like to join, we'll drop the link for in the comments. It's a bi-weekly event we hold to network and highlight the amazing wellness providers here in this group. And so last Connection Circle, we had Lisa Dieffenbach.
Linda.
Linda, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Linda, thank you so much for being here today. Linda is a trauma-informed coach and holistic practitioner, and she is going to tell us all about how she became a body, mind, and soul provider and what she does. Thank you so much for being here, Linda. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here. It's wonderful. Um, yeah.
So,
So,
so give us a little bit of the deets on your passion and how you came to it to be a trauma-informed coach and holistic practitioner, so people can get a sense of you and we can really connect you with the people that we want to in this group.
yeah, so my passion is helping people really overcome the limitations that are built from their past experiences, from their traumatic experiences, from toxic conditioning, from the messaging that we receive throughout our lifetime that just cripples us oftentimes and keeps us from being able to really grow and expand and live the life that we want to live and to really be able to become into true, full, authentic expression of who we are. Oftentimes, because of these experiences and this conditioning, we tend to wear a mask and we go lockstep into the expectations and uh, limit ourselves based on social pressures. And then we also have so many beliefs that we adopt and strategies that we adopt to survive the experiences that we've had that really keep us locked up and keep us from being able to, yeah, to be able to make progress in our lives in the way that we want.
And it's so
So,
amazing how our brains like store that stuff, and they can store for so long, and we kind of just normalize it as a part of our being. Was there what was there about your story that kicked this off? Tell me more.
so, before I get into my story, I just want to comment on what you just said because um, what happens is that these experiences get not just in our brain, they get locked in our body. Our nervous system actually holds the energy of our trauma until those things are resolved. So we get stuck in repetitive patterns that just keep us locked and frustrated. We feel like we're self sabotaging. We feel stuck. We feel overwhelmed, frustrated, anxious, depressed, and everything else that goes with that. And that's why that happens, is because our nervous system hasn't been able to process and resolve the trauma and the experiences to open us up into new things.
So
So,
is that why to take the holistic approach, like it's body, mind, and spirit, right? That's something we strive for here
oh
in
yeah,
this group. Yeah.
yeah, it's the whole picture. It's not just the brain. It's not us consciously making decisions to do things. It's our body, our energy system that's holding these patterns, holding this energy, and influencing how we act and how we move through the world and how we respond to the world.
Okay, so tell me
Um,
more about you, though. Tell me about how you arrived at this. What was the trigger to make you want to do this work?
well, I came through my own healing journey. I had a lot of unrecognized, unaddressed childhood trauma that had a huge impact on my life that I didn't understand. I thought I was crazy. I thought everything that was happening in my life was just because there was something inherently wrong with me. To the point when I was 15, I had attempted to take my own life. I was hospitalized for a period of time. And at that time, the systems and people who were supposed to be helping me actually re-traumatized me further. And from that experience, because I was told following a suicide attempt that my attempt was just attention-seeking behavior, that it wasn't real, and that I had nothing to be upset about. My life was perfect. And it was just somehow something was wrong with me. So I shut down after that. And I put on the mask, put on the happy face, and was just caught in the cycle. I became very externally focused. How do I help everyone else? Because obviously I can't get help. And that got me into a lot of really unhealthy patterns. And I was miserable. I was stuck. I was frustrated. And in my late 20s, I discovered Reiki. Didn't know what it was, never heard of it before, but I read about it. There was a woman who was offering it, and I read about it, and I was like, maybe, because nothing else was helping me. Traditional Western therapy was not helping me. I was lost, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is something. So I signed up to learn it right away. And that really was an opening for me into a whole world of other things. Reiki in
That's
and of itself. Go ahead.
no, just that's amazing that when the body angle and the mind angle were shut to you, you found that spirit angle to the energy
Mhm.
angle to.
Yeah. Yeah. And that Reiki in and of itself, when I was learning what um, it did two things. One, it just gave me a self-care tool where I could place my hands on my body and I could nurture myself and help support myself in a way that I didn't really have access to before. But it also was a gateway into learning about this whole world of holistic practice and energy medicine. And um, I was a couple years later, I was introduced to one of my mentors, Elizabeth Frediani, who introduced me to chakra healing work. And as I started to learn about the chakras, I was in social work at the time. So simultaneously, as I was learning about the chakras, um, I was also working in the organization I was in. I was a core trainer for the sanctuary model of trauma informed care. So I was learning about and then became very well immersed in my understanding of trauma and how it affects the body, how it affects our consciousness, how it affects everything. And the knowledge of these two things coming together was completely transformational for me because I
I can
suddenly understood my life.
I can see how bringing all that together, not only for yourself, but to be able to share that, especially with a social worker kind of background. How do you focus that into people's lives? Do you kind of work generally on the whole life picture, or do you work specifically with the energy, or how do you combine your skills and how do you deliver them?
Um, it's definitely a very holistic approach and it's very individualized. So it depends on, how the person shows up, what's most present for them. It's very much an in the moment type of experience where we will, like through the chakra work that I do and the coaching work I do, that's dialoguing, that's really exploring the consciousness, exploring the patterns, exploring the underlying root cause, looking at how it's affecting your life and goes into exploring tools and skills and strategies and ways to shift that energy um, and move the energy that's trapped in the body so it can open you up into a new way of being in your life.
That's
And then I bring in,
amazing.
thank you. And then I bring in the energy work like Reiki, on table work, which is more passive support. Um, but it's very nurturing and it also helps to calm the nervous system. It can help to open them up to the deeper work. So I
I can see
combine
how it
these
would be very,
things.
I think I can see how it would be very stabilizing, helping them, rebuild their energy field, like just because when our bodies or our minds are blown apart, our energy field does too. So, what do you find, who are the people that end up coming to you? What's the most common problem that people who come to you face? Or on the flip side of that, what's the most common problem that you really love to help people with, or that you're really good at helping people with? What's the magic Linda sauce here?
It's hard to say that there's a common problem because there's such a broad range that people show up with. But I think the underlying theme is disconnection from self, dissatisfaction with their life, dissatisfaction with their relationships, and just simply feeling stuck and not knowing what to do next. And I work primarily with women, not exclusively, of course, but those are the ones who mostly show up in my world. And commonly I see women stuck in patterns of um, extremely low self-esteem, lack of confidence, constantly apologizing for themselves, stuck in relationships that are not serving them, oftentimes toxic relationships, struggling with healthy boundaries, tending to be people pleasing and just giving up self constantly instead of supporting themselves while they're supporting others. So
Where
it's
were
definitely a
you
broad
10
range.
years?
I was here. I was just on the other side of the country.
Oh my gosh, so many people are like struggling with those blocks after trauma, and it's just amazing that you have stepped into this. Okay, so tell me like how you work with people. Do you do one-on-ones? Do you do groups? Do you have programs? What does that look like when people work with you?
Yes. So I do one-on-one work both in my office here in Pennsylvania as well as virtually. Um, and like I said, that can include, Reiki and energy work, and then it can include the coaching and the more conscious processing of experiences and skill building and stuff. I have online programs. I have a community called the Empowered Goddess Tribe that I recently started as a way of bringing women together to connect and empower each other. And in that community, we're building, it's very new, so it's really just starting to build, but we have a trauma informed practitioner training that's piloting right now. And then we have monthly sisterhood circles and empowerment circles within.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well, I want to make sure that everybody knows how to get a hold of you. So like when we're done, would love for you to make sure that you drop the link to your group and your webpage or any other stuff so that, if you guys are grooving with Linda, the reason why we do these interviews is to kind of really give a sense of who each of our providers here are and so that you can know, like, and trust them and that you can connect with them because that's what we're here for is body, mind, and soul connections, just not within ourselves, but between each other. Um, so I want to ask a little bit more too about you and your journey as just as a provider generally. So if you could give a piece of advice to a new wellness provider who's just starting out and making that transition to providing services, what would you say the biggest or the biggest challenge that you found to that from a provider angle and how you overcome it?
It's a big question. um, so for me, one of the challenges that I found, I still see this because there's so much out there. There's so many great things to learn. There's so many great things to explore, and it's very easy to um, get caught up and distracted by all of the wonderful things out there. And I mean, through that process, I've gotten a lot of really valuable training and a lot of really valuable skills that I incorporated into my work. But I've also at times overwhelmed myself trying to learn all the things instead of staying focused. So,
Shiny object
be discerning.
modalities.
What's that?
Shiny object modalities.
Right. Exactly. It's like, oh, that sounds cool. This sounds cool. This is amazing. Look at this. I should learn this. And there's so much. And like I said, I've learned a tremendous amount through that journey, but I also have learned that I need to say, that sounds really cool, but that's for somebody else. I don't need to add that to my repertoire sometimes. Um, because you can get very distracted by all the things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I didn't hear the part about what your favorite thing to do is like in your practice. What are some of them, I mean, you don't have to share names, but like some of the moments that you've enjoyed success with your clients and it brought you satisfaction to do that.
One of the things that I love the most is witnessing someone stepping into themselves, stepping into their power, and really stepping into that profound realization that they are valuable and strong and they just start to own it. And witnessing that is a phenomenal experience because it is beautiful to see that
Oh,
transformation.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your heart and your services and your gifts. You are an amazing gift in this world. So many people need you, and thank you for being a resource in this community. And you guys, if you would like to to connect with Linda, make sure that you do that at the links she's going to leave in the comments, and come connect with us again on the Connection Circle, Linda, and anybody else who has already been on, you're welcome to come back. We'll drop the link for that in the comments as well. But Linda's here and yeah, ready to serve. So make sure that you connect with her if you're stuck after trauma in a self-esteem, confidence, people-pleasing loop, because I've been there. You can get out, and it's people like Linda that can help. So thanks, everybody, and looking forward to seeing you soon next time. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle.